You know what?
That's what people say to me when I'm like, people say,
Traveling
no.
Pardon
You
me?
just.
I'll bet he's on the first or second floor is traveling on elevator shaft.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's quite as bad. Fortunately, we got a short.
It's like replaying. You jumped and I was like making fun of you. I'm not. I'm like,
That's like a 15 seconds.
it was, that's kind of cool.
Maybe look at it, went back in time.
Couple seconds. It's 9 o'clock. Please join the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning.
Okay, the first thing is the approval of the agenda. Is there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion carried. Okay, next we have the approval of the minutes from last week. And there's 2 sets there. One for Monday and then also one for Wednesday. I think we can do them both at the same time. I think they both very well, and I'll get a motion to approve. Okay. Then moved. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
The move second, any further discussion? Not all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion carried. Okay, first we have on the agenda is Carroll Area Development Corporation update. Matt?
Right,
Morning.
morning. Those are being passed around and you guys can just follow along if you'd like, and I'll just kind of give an update of what we all have going on.
Is that the one I already have?
Yep, the same one, but just in case they want to follow along. So first page is just an update from Jim Allen, our board president at CADC. That's his letter, and I won't read through that, but I guess I will go back to the reason we do this. This gets sent out our private investment, which is really kind of the third leg to our funding. Obviously, we receive funding from y'all at the county. We appreciate that, and the city, and private investment, which is also made up with the membership dues from our board, and then also the in-kind contribution from the chamber. So we don't pay rent on the building, things like that. And that equals out to be around like 35,000. So there is a big portion of that we're saving from our partnership with the chamber as well. But the private investment is really the third leg of the stool and really important for the support we get from the community and businesses, whether that goes to affect BRE, so business recruitment, business retention expansion, the business recruitment, workforce, housing. As businesses are really trusting in the work that we're doing and trying to help the county and bring folks in. So this is really important. This kind of gives an update to those folks. So we send it to our private investors and then also just partners as well. So like the American Energy, Alliant, county, city, unique. On the second page there, you can see our board of directors, and then really getting into the heart of it would be then the third page. The first thing I'll give an update on is the Retail Coach. Retail Coach is a project we have going on in a partnership with the city of Carroll. And we hire Retail Coach. It's a firm out of Texas. They work nationwide. They're doing some work right now, actually Fort Dodge as well here in Iowa. And they help bring data in to help with existing businesses and then also help with business recruitment. They have connections to your national chains, if you will, whether that's retail, restaurants. Those connections make it a lot easier to have those conversations than little old me here, not having connections to that. They have the connections to the corporate offices, things like that. So it's really been beneficial. They did run a couple different data sets at the beginning on the demographic profile of Carroll, and then our primary retail trade area, and then our demand outlook, which also shows what the demand is in certain industries over the next 5 years. our primary retail trade area actually has our population at over 33,000 people that are coming into Carroll and the Carroll area, whether that's work, recreational, you name it. That expands, it virtually covers all of Carroll County. It also goes over to Denison and over to Jefferson. It doesn't go too far north or south. They kept it on the more conservative side, even though we know, especially certain industries, agriculture, for example, we do get a lot of people from Longview County, some down from Sac, whether that's through bonfires or, John Deere. So that was the first set that that allows us to go out and then help recruit businesses, showing that data that, the city of Carroll is not just a population of roughly 10,000. It really has, we're serving for 32,000 people here. And it actually is a lot more helpful because many businesses and retailers that we want to recruit or try and recruit require a minimum of 30,000 to 32,000 people. So that data really helps make that argument. We also get individual data sets for current businesses here, like our downtown. We bring those in. That shows their customers where they're coming from, where they live, where they came before they entered the store, where they're going after, where their leakage is. If that's down to Des Moines, Omaha, Ames, and that's been very helpful for our current businesses to really see the traveling and the what the decision making is for their customers. It's been very helpful to bring them in and keep them more and see their competition. So we're very excited about those things. Retail Coach has been doing very well. We've been in touch with, now we're pushing closer to 40 different retailers. There's quite a few actually that do have some interest in Carroll. A lot of us just trying to figure out where locations we push our sites to get some of those filled that we have available, like the Jason Bank site, for example. And we're currently also having conversations with the developer coming as well, and some developers, because a lot of them do want new buildings, new infrastructure. And so that's just another option that we have that's very helpful. Retail Coach helps with that. So we're very excited about that. On that page, that blue area, that is our primary retail trade area that I was referring to. So that's the area that most of the people are coming from. The map down below, they did a data set that I was explaining for individual stores, but they did a wall of downtown Carroll. The heat map shows where individuals are coming from to visit our downtown Carroll to go shopping. We get over 12,000 visitors a week in our downtown. So for a town of this size, that's actually very impressive. From Retail Coach, they'll tell you that's not many people are seeing numbers like that, for the size. Primary retail trader, the average household income for the trade area is $78,990, and the median age is 39. So we're a lot younger than what people I think tend to see.
Did have you, and James can probably, maybe he's beat me to this, but did you go back and look at how these numbers compare to the study that was done several years ago, the household by RDG? I'm just curious, is it just the only two figures that are going to come up is the median age and that household income looks pretty high to me, but
if I remember right, and don't hold me, Christine, I think that's pretty similar to it. I think
really, it'll be interesting to see. I'll have to go back and look myself. I've got that.
And the demographic profile of just Carroll showed that just specifically the city of Carroll, the average household income was 76,000. The retail trade area was at 78.
Okay, that's a retail trade area.
So, which actually kind of
That's
surprised them as well, is once you typically leave the city and go out into more rural, smaller towns and countryside, that usually drives your income down. And in our case, it went up. But I think that also speaks a lot to the county as a whole. Carroll County does do very well. We do have a lot of farmers that do well, and other town businesses in our small towns that are doing well. That's Breda, Templeton, Arcadia, you name it. So the county
I think
overall
we've
does
got
very
some
well.
isolated business in these small outlying areas.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. So that's kind of the update on Retail Coach there. If anyone has any other questions. Shovel ready sites, the CADC continues to have shovel ready sites, whether that's here in Carroll, the Ashwood Park. There's some sites out by the landfill that has the CAC board sign on it. Manning, Templeton, we continue to be ready for those businesses to come in if so needed. Manning's a site that has a railroad right next to it, so if that's needed, that is there. So that kind of gives a quick update on that. Western Iowa Advantage, we continue to be a member of Western Iowa Advantage, which I believe is 7 counties. Carroll is virtually in the heart of it. We have our surrounding counties that also make that up. We are the largest county by population by far, and it's a very good partnership that we have, whether that's from the size of the tool that helps us kind of helps businesses analyze where they're at, what they need to be doing, and things like that. We also just got some photos of businesses throughout the county, our larger employers, Farner, Pella, the hospital, and Templeton Ryan. That was a project that started pre-COVID, but then finally just got done. We had hired a photographer, and they're using those photos as a push to kind of reach out to other communities outside of the WEAG region, to bring people in for workforce and jobs of the like. So trying to solve the problems. Moving on to the Small Business Development Center. The numbers in there were what we had when we put this together. I do have some updated numbers. We just had Kimberly Tiefenthaler at CDC meeting giving an update. So for FY 2020 to FY 2021 in Carroll County, she had 104 clients counseled, 5 business starts, 6,657,256 sales increases, 36 jobs were created, 454 jobs supported, and 1.9 million in capital infusion. So we partner a little bit in a way with Kimberly and SBDC. She was very helpful to a lot of businesses during COVID, and Carroll County per capita, I'm biased, but I would say probably one of her best counties. We compete with, the Fort Dodge area in terms of jobs, in terms of numbers, and what she's doing for business startups and things. So a lot to be impressed about, and she's a great resource to our team in Carroll County for businesses here. So those numbers are updated somewhat from what's in there.
When the injection helps that we got a part-time office for her in Carroll.
Yes.
Through that CAC. So I think that's made a big difference.
And that's something a lot of local investment has helped do, that she does have a part-time office here. Otherwise her office would be full-time at Fort Dodge. And there's some private people that help make that happen. So that is a great thing we have going on. Moving on to the next page, our 2020 existing industry report. So this is based off our BREs in 2020, business retention and expansion. Just to read off a couple of facts that are in there. Of those interviewed, 81% were private for-profit companies, and 40% of companies are family-owned. 89% of those companies interviewed had not changed ownership in the prior 18 months, along with 81% had maintained the management. During COVID-19, the top recovery barriers to local businesses as they saw it were economic uncertainty at 51%, followed by workforce recruitment at 49% and regaining customers at 22%. I think it's also important to note that 47% of the participants in BRE export products internationally. I think that's pretty impressive for Carroll County and being a rural county that we have that many businesses that do that. And 86% brought on new products in the last 3 years, and 81% have new products in the next 2 years, which would include this year and next year. Just a BRE update, we're doing BRE currently, kind of wrapping it up. Those that are due by October 1st, so the end of this week. So we have most of our businesses did participate. Some have chosen not to, but that's for just changes they don't want to talk about right now or whatnot. But we do have pretty good participation. And that one, again, is focused on COVID recovery. More specifically, this was more of what they saw during COVID. So that's what things are at. We continue to do marketing, whether that's through our Gatekeeper website services. In Facebook, we have gotten a little bit more following on our social media, which has attracted more people to our website. So we continue to try and find ways to improve that. We push industry articles, whether that's through economic development, workforce housing on our website to help educate people. And we are continuing to work on getting videos and testimonials to our work, whether that's retail coach or any other specific project we have going on to help out. So marketing is always huge in what we do. The next page is just our private investment partners. So this is again, the folks last year that invested in CEC and the work we do. Below is the economic development partners. It's not anyone that necessarily gives or doesn't give. Some do give still, not all. But those are people that we just work continuously with and we partner with for economic development. And then since we are currently, we do not have economic development, executive director in-house currently that is being hired out. We just have a meeting staff page this year. So on the last page, so unless anyone has any questions. That's about it.
Anyone have any questions from that?
I'll be interested to see that PRE for the 21-22.
Yeah.
What that looks like.
For what we've done so far, it does look pretty good, pretty positive. Businesses have recovered. Many of them that did have expansion plans have started those or have completed those. So things tend to be looking good.
Thanks for the update.
Yep, no problem. Thank you all for your support.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Any questions?
Nope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, next we'll go to the payables. Any questions on the payables? Let's see, we got our payable from the day, now, it's kind of a old one, isn't it? For August. So it should buy a little.
I think he said he was been wrapping up the next one, so we may see the next jail bill on the very next. Like, the next one.
98.36% of the job. Any questions on the payables? What also included that would be the two that we passed around earlier.
I'll make a motion to approve the payables.
Okay, it's been moved to approve the payables. Is there a second?
One second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried. Okay, next we have is discuss new DHS new phone.
Mary Jo did email me the phone quote she got, so I did forward this to you all this morning. It looks to me like the best option for them would be to go with Western Iowa Networks, significantly less money than the other quote they received. Her email kind of broke out why. She said that they'll have to replace the phone system because their current system will no longer be serviced after October 1st. So it sounds like they're not going to be able to have any issues worked on with their current system after that date. So it must be either out of warranty, out of contract. I don't know. This expense she felt would be they would be able to pay for it out of their current budget. They wouldn't have to ask for any additional funds. So it's not really a budgetary issue as much as it is when they do this, there will be a contract that needs to be signed, and that would be signed by the board of supervisors. So she wanted you guys to take a look at this, know what they're doing, and be on board so she can get them ordered, and then there would be a contract to sign at a later date.
Do you know how long that contract is?
I have no idea. I don't know, 'cause this is just a summary. There's really not a.
So what we have here in the courthouse would be a different system, because we just updated our system here, so it's not the same.
That's 12,000 versus
7,000.
7,000. Did you show this to Dalton by chance? Did they have any issues with it?
He doesn't do anything with the phones.
Or- Okay.
It's not really do it.
Courtney did visit with me the other day and also through the discussion with just
Very true.
Nigel. That they are starting to move back into the house. People coming back. So. And this is, yeah, and what she said, this would be part of their annual budget, so we're basically reimbursed for it, even though they paid for it. Their budget is not,
3.something% back
yeah,
from the state.
any questions? Do we need to make a motion now? Wait for the
I
contract?
don't think so. I just, like I said,
Just
since
give her-
it's not really a budgetary issue because they have the money to spend. Since there's going to be a contract involved at a later date, I wanted you to be aware of it, because she doesn't want to order the phones unless you guys are okay with it. So you could probably make a formal motion to approve the contract. Or you could make a motion to allow her to order the phones.
Or do you guys wish?
I think it's very high, she should just go ahead and order them and we'll approve the contract. It seems like she is choosing the reasonable one.
Anybody have any objections to that?
No, I don't have any objections. If she needs a motion, give her the green light, then that's what we should
I
do.
think that we just have consensus today, fine. and approve-
Yeah,
Instead of
probably.
approve, chair signing the contract when it's done.
Mhm. I'm okay with it.
Motions want to make a motion now, to do that all one time. When it comes up, we'll just sign it. I'd sooner just do it later on. Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. She said her.
Verbal blessing.
Go ahead. then. Okay, the next thing we have is manure management annual updates. Glen Icon, section 25, Ewald Township, no changes. Alex Weeder, section 25, Nice Township, no changes. PI 233 Finisher, section 24, Richmond Township, they added acres and are using manure analysis. Okay. Committee reports.
Go first. Last week we had a Wesco meeting. I did go via Zoom. They had the option out there having a few COVID cases, but they're following the common procedures. Everything is going well there. So there really wasn't much topic of conversation. Then I did have a daycare meeting Thursday via Zoom over the lunch hour. Just make you guys aware they're adding a new, different kind of policy in partnership with the bus barn. So if the bus comes currently, their staff does not get on the bus and look for students if they are missing. So if they don't show up on the list and they're not on the bus, they do not currently get on the bus to look for that child. That will be changed. We're gonna partner with the bus barn, so if the kids get off and they're missing a name, because a lot of those younger kiddos, they fall asleep, or it's a long day, so they do fall asleep in the back of the bus. So now Nikki or Keely or one of the members will get on the bus if there's a kid missing and go back and look for the child to wake them up. Normally, it's because a child missed the bus. The first week of school is interesting anyway. I mean, I'm one of those parents that I was out of town and I saw my daughter was not on the right bus and she just rode through town. That happens that first week because it's confusing, things like that. So that's a different policy that we're gonna implement at the daycare. Other than that, things are going really well at the daycare. Then we had our courthouse SCH spatial needs meeting Wednesday here. And then I had conversations with 3 different department heads throughout the week. And we'll kind of discuss those items as if they arise. This coming week, I do not have any official meetings.
Last week I had SCH meeting on Wednesday. Friday, I did do a phone interview with Doug. He strives to do interviews Friday, and Courtney, did he get all this completed?
Who?
SCH,
John?
John, I'm sorry, John.
Yeah.
No, I
As
haven't had
far
mine.
as I know. he did.
Oh, you mean the ones for that day on?
On Friday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I met with him Friday, and when he and I were done, he was going over the Fricky building. Megan was gonna be gone, so, but I gave Megan the survey with the questions that he wanted. She was gonna look through that, but he was gonna talk to Tony after this. So he was going over those questions.
Then this week I have tomorrow afternoon RSVP and foster grandparents meeting for.
Last week I had the special needs meeting with John. And yeah, I thought that went well. I think. I thought there was a little bit of confusion. You know, some of the understanding, but I'm sure we'll get it cleared up. And then I talked to John Stephen on the RFP from the Stephen Group. There'll probably be more on that coming down the road. This week I have a North Raccoon River Management Coalition Executive Board meeting at Perry on Wednesday afternoon, the Board of Health meeting on Thursday. And yeah, that's my week. I thought I probably had some road stuff going on, but I think that was the week before.
Okay, last week I had the CABC meeting on Tuesday. Went through the financials and reviewed them. We approved the 2020 in-kind contributions to CABC for their annual report. This is the money that we get back from chamber, and also he was talking about our private investment. We had a retail coach update. He talked about the Carroll BRE business. We had 5 left to do yet this week. He brought up the Western Iowa Advantage annual meeting is October 6th. That's going to be down in Ogden. Did a legislative update. It's going to be, instead of a chamber sponsor now, CABC sponsoring those forms that they have for forms. The partners in progress. Usually you get about 38,000. So for this year, they're up to 22,950 already. They think they'll get to that 38,000. July unemployment was at 2.9. Send that map around if you guys want it. So, so that was Tuesday. Then also sat on the SEH spatial needs meeting on Wednesday. And then the rest of the week I had several conversations with different people. One was with John, I think, because I think there was what you said, there's a misunderstanding. I think he was thinking we was going to do a Zoom meeting just board instead of individuals. And I had a conversation with him that because we wanted to do it individually. So I did that, and then so I did my interview with him also at that time too. So later on that week. And then just followed up on a lot of different phone calls. This week I have policy council meeting on Tuesday night. On Thursday I have IHSA annual meeting. That's the Iowa Head Start Association annual meeting. I'll be participating in that for a while. We have a staff member that will be recognized and honored at that meeting from New Opportunities. And then at 3 o'clock, I have a new recruitment for a board member of New Opportunities that will do one meeting with them to show them what all is included in the board. And then at 4 o'clock, I have a New Opportunities board meeting. That is my week this week. So you're doing great with me. Fortunate guy, very short. Okay, Courtney, Courtney, anything for you? What do we have next week?
One, Metzger's gonna be here at 9. Okay. She's gonna be going around to all the counties in the region. So that's all right. No, that's all I have.
I'm sure there'll be more by that time. So any comments from those in attendance or online, Ben?
Nothing online.
Do you have any comments on Renee Van Volker's,
On what the,
Renee's on the Teamsters?
was there an email out there?
Secondary roads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There is, yeah, we did get a letter from Secondary Roads and the ambulance. Some point in time, and probably once you put that on next week, we'll probably have to acknowledge the receipt of those. And that's all we do at this point. The ambulance one, we did get some recommendations there. The Secondary Roads did not have any issue, or any recommendations. That, that's the only public comment on. Okay. Yeah, we did get those.
Yeah, I just
This last week.
wondered if there'd be a comment on that.
Yeah, we did get one from them, so we got both, and they're both up. So. And we haven't set any time frame. Usually I wasn't, usually able to have them give us proposal first.
I would wait until after they have their immediate retention election next month.
Well, that was, I thought of that last night. They haven't had that yet. have they?
No, it's in October.
So we really can't do anything until we have that.
Well, you couldn't know until receipt of the letters.
Yeah.
But yeah, if one of those would choose not to retain it, obviously then that one would be.
That was something I'm glad you brought it up. I was thinking about asking about,
October.
because they have to get that list from you. To have that.
Yeah, they have already gotten it. We've already sent out the notice of election and instructions for how to vote. All that stuff.
Okay. If there's nothing else, we're in order for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Then second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion carries. Meeting adjourned.